Okay, now what are the foods that are rich in zinc? Usually nuts, all kinds of nuts, cashews, badam, everything. The pista, walnuts, all the nuts are rich in zinc. So powdered nuts, 1 spoon added to the idli or dosa batter, or nuts as such if the child is able to eat, and if the child is not a toddler, we can give the whole nuts. The other things are red meat, fish, chickpeas and baked beans. So if we are having a bowl of sundal, that means we are doing a pretty much good job, because it also has vitamin C and also zinc. Fish is a good source of zinc, along with vegetarian sources, beans and the chickpeas. Finally, what are the foods rich in vitamin C? Well, we only think of lemon. Lemon is the only thing that we think of when we talk about vitamin C. However, when we take lemon, most of the times it irritates the throat. So there are other alternatives like cabbage, cauliflower, tomatoes, spinach, um, broccolis, turnips, the red, green and the yellow peppers. All of these are rich in vitamin C. Please use all the fruits and vegetables. I repeat, the plate of the baby should look like a rainbow. That's when we can say that the baby is having holistic and nutritious food. Then my son is 2.5-year-old and is due for next vaccination. Should I take him for vaccination, or how long can I postpone? Well, this is how I summed it up. If your child is less than 15 months old, he has not received all of his primary vaccinations, correct? We give varicella for the first time at 15th month. So if your child is less than 15 months old, please do not postpone your vaccination. Point number 1. Point number 2, before you blindly rush to the clinic, please give a call to your pediatrician and find out if it is a well baby clinic, which means if he has separate rooms wherein he sees the fever cases and a separate room for the healthy babies, well babies like newborns, or children who come for vaccination or for developmental screening. So if it is a well baby setup, if your child is less than 15 months old, please by all means go ahead and take the vaccination. IAP is predicting that the vaccine preventable diseases like polio, measles, mumps, rubella are going to spike up soon after this pandemic of COVID. We need to fight those things as well. Karishma, please mute. And if your child is above 2.5 years old, I mean 1.15 months old, then what to do? Then these are the booster dose. I don't see any harm in waiting for 3 to 6 months. Let things settle down. I would say probably we can wait until this October, November. Then again, the type of the vaccine, if it is hepatitis A or typhoid vaccination, both of these diseases are water transmissible diseases. You can give them RO water or boiled water, then you need not worry that the child will get typhoid from the water, right? Please take those measures. You can avoid hepatitis A and typhoid vaccination for a short while until this pandemic settles down. Are masks compulsory for kids? Is it preferable for them to wear a N95 mask or a surgical mask or a simple cloth mask? Well, I must say, we as adults, when we are wearing masks, we are experiencing a lot of breathlessness, aren't we? Will you not agree with me? So a child's lung is much more vulnerable, even if the pressure variations are a tad bit higher, a child's lung can collapse very easily. So what I recommend is, when the child is alone, there is no need of wearing a mask. Suppose you have taken your child alone, you and your child, for a walk around the block. The child, it's not mandatory to make the child wear a mask. Why? First of all, the mask doesn't fit the baby's face properly. It keeps slipping. The mask is always something like this, actually doesn't do its job. It's just naam ke vaste. For name's sake, we have the mask, but the mask doesn't do its job. So, and the child keeps meddling with it so many times. She will touch the cycle handle, she will touch other objects, and then she will keep adjusting her mask so many times that you are actually giving more chance of infection to directly reach the child. If we can tie a kerchief, handkerchief, big enough handkerchief which doesn't slip away, which doesn't give a chance for the child to touch your face more often, I think that is the best thing you can do. No N95 masks for a child. Please, I repeat, no N95 masks for a child. Cloth masks are better if they are able to handle, if they are old enough, about 10, if they are able to handle the surgical mask, yes, for a surgical mask. So there will be hypoxia. That means oxygen might not be sufficient to the child if the child is wearing oxygen mask for a longer time. However, having said that, if the child is being taken to a crowdy place like an OPD, please insist on wearing a mask. Especially if the child has fever and if the child is sneezing, the sneeze should not spread. The droplets of sneeze should not spread in the air around him. That's where you have to either teach him to cover his nose with a handkerchief, or you have to make him wear a mask. If a person falls sick with COVID, it is not like chicken pox. It's not like, for the rest of the life, the child is or the person is immune to COVID. Doesn't happen. Why? Because flu and coronavirus, these are the viruses which are capable of rapidly mutating and changing their shape. Earlier, many parents used to ask me why we should take a flu shot every single year. Why can't we? One injection should be good enough for the rest of the life, right? So the thing is, suppose the shape of the antigen of flu this year is like a triangle. Predicting that this particular H1N1, suppose it is triangle, predicting that this is H1N1 this year, we will come up with a vaccine which correctly has that shape that it can tackle with a triangle. But the next year, this will change its shape. The triangle becomes a square or a circle. And this particular antibody that is produced in our body is not able to capture it correctly because there is a change in the shape. Likewise, corona is also capable of rapidly mutating. Even if Covaxin, the vaccine against COVID, which is being promised to be available by the end of August, even if Covaxin is successful and we are able to take Covaxin, it probably works for a short while, that's around a year, and then by that time probably research advances and a better vaccine comes out by next year. So it's not permanent, and we cannot guarantee that once a person is infected and suffered corona, he may be susceptible once again in the due course of time.